Hello and welcome to Tank Tops and Sweaters. It's Yvette and Kelly here. Once again, we took a little bit of a break, but we are back and ready to talk with you about moving with self-love this month. We put out a couple of journal prompts and some really awesome emails that had lots of information around the subject, as well as we did some really fun movement. So hopefully you're following us on Instagram, and very soon we'll be posting to YouTube some stretching, some moving videos, and just lots of fun. So come and join us if you haven't. Also on TikTok, if you haven't seen us on TikTok, give us a follow at Tank Tops and Sweaters, and make sure you are hitting that subscribe button down here so you don't miss any of our fabulous videos of conversations and just silliness and lots of information. Anyway, let's get back to what our topic is, moving with self-love. So as we said, we put out there a couple of journal prompts. We have a fun program that we're running this year. So each month we have a couple of journal prompts that we can email you or post on Instagram. Get a journal for yourself and join us, because these are just super self-reflective, but as well as getting you to kind of step outside your box and think about things. But most importantly, it's giving you the opportunity to stop and pause and reflect. And I think that's something that is so needed, especially for mental health. So Kelly, let's
Yeah,
talk about the first journal prompt. It was,
the first one.
yeah, are you meeting yourself where you're at and accepting who you are?
That's a tough one, didn't you think? I felt like when I went to
Yes.
sit down to journal, I was, ooh, this requires some real thought. And I thought about it a little bit more with my movement practice and kind
Mhm.
of, am I meeting myself where I'm at instead of um, kind of going backwards or pushing myself too far. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I think some days we wake up and we know we can do it, whatever it is, whatever workout we're doing or exercise. And then we feel like, yeah, I'm not going to do as much. I'll just do a little bit, but really not going to my full potential. And then some days we wake up and we're like, oh, I'm going to hit it hard and I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then you go, oh, I can't do all of that. So I think this, I tried to do a really good job of knowing, listening to my body and knowing where I'm at to
Mhm.
say, I'm giving myself enough, but I'm not pushing myself to the point of exhaustion or failure. Does that make sense?
Totally, definitely.
How
And
about you?
that is hard, because definitely on that physical level, it's like, you know, you have those days, like you said, where you're just kind of like, I want to lay in bed and I just don't want to do anything. And then
Right?
there's those other days where you're like, yeah, let's get after it. Let's do this. And then by the time you're getting towards the end of that, you're like, woo, that was a
What
lot.
did I do?
Yes. And it's the next morning of like, now my body is so sore and so
Can't
tired.
move.
Aches and the pains are coming. So yeah. Yeah,
Right.
finding that balance, which is always not necessarily 100% consistent every single day. And I think you're
Right.
right. It's just trying to find the balance of meeting yourself where you are at for that very moment. So yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. I took it more on the emotional level, and really trying to accept where I am in this very moment in my, life, my journey that I'm on,
Mhm.
where I'm at, and not allowing myself to criticize who I am or what I'm doing, and instead trying to allow myself to just accept this very moment in life. As we've talked before, I mean, time is super fleeting, and we are feeling the pressure of time right now
Mhm.
because it's going by so, so fast. We both have seniors in high school who are getting ready to go off to college and start their lives. And it's really, really hard to wrap our heads around that, especially for me having a one and only. This is like
Mhm.
super life changing. So I think it's super important for me to right now just stop and allow myself to just accept what is around me and accept where I'm at in this journey, which is not
I
easy.
love that. And that goes back into, no, it's not. That kind of ties into what we talked about in January about practicing the pause and just
Mhm.
that pause to be present and really be in the moment instead of like anticipating what's next or worrying about what already happened. Just that being present in that moment, which you and I've talked about before, especially for this year with our seniors, focusing on the moment and not letting it go by. So I love that. I love that we took it in two totally different ways too.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this.
I know.
That is the
I
beauty
know.
of this, everyone. Yes. We took it in totally
Yes.
different ways, but that is where we come together and we can have these awesome conversations because you can have all these different points of view.
Yeah,
So, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
exactly.
And I
Our
also
second
think,
one was a little bit more, go
oh,
ahead.
yeah. No, no, go for the second one for sure.
I think it was a little bit more difficult.
Yep.
So we asked, is there a criticism about yourself that you can replace with a positive mantra? Did you
That
find
one,
one?
oh, that was really a struggle. That was a
Mhm.
struggle bus for sure. So, being of a certain age and going through a certain change. So physically, it also is very mental and emotional as well. Perimenopause, menopause, if you don't know already, all the mamas and
If we
women
haven't
that
already
are
talked about it.
out there are probably like, oh yes, nodding your head. Uh-huh. So for me, I have always felt so physically connected to my body. As a
Mhm.
dancer, as a fitness instructor, like I really am physically connected. So when the physical changes start to happen, it's been really, really hard for me to
Mhm.
accept that and allow it and to just kind of let it be, so to speak. And I think it is my own criticism of, oh my gosh, you're not doing this or you're not doing that right, or you're letting this go, or you're not, eating the right things, or you're not doing the right things. And it's just like that little voice in the back of your head that is the critic and is constantly saying all of the negative things
Yes.
that you see, right? Especially when physical changes start to happen. So it was really hard, but I have to make myself try and quiet that voice and to really step back and say, well, damn, I am doing an awesome job. I'm making sure that I'm
I
taking
love
care of
that.
myself. I'm being as healthy
Mhm.
as I possibly can. I'm getting stronger. Um, like that's what you should be looking at. It's super duper hard, especially when your pants
Mhm.
start to not fit. It's very, very hard. But it is also that kind of point where you have to decide, like, are you going to let the critic or inside your head, that negative little voice, start to get louder and louder? Or are you going to fight back and say, no, I am doing an awesome job. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm strong. I am healthy. Accept that. Love it. Go
Mhm.
for it.
I love that. And I think so many people will relate to that because, especially if you're getting older like we are, um, you start to see those changes, and those changes are hard. And the things that we have always done don't necessarily work anymore. And you have to change routines and you have to change the things that you do or eat. And so I think that that's a really hard thing, but to give yourself that grace and say, no, I am doing this. I'm strong. I may not be exactly the same as I was, but I'm strong and I'm healthy and I can do this. So I love that you,
I think it's so, so hard because especially as women, um, we're fitness instructors, and I feel like there is that whole culture of you have to look a certain way and you have to, you
Mhm.
know, have a certain figure.
Yes.
You have to, look like
Yeah,
you're super skinny and super strong. And it is just super frustrating because that's not the reality. That is
not
not,
reality. Yeah,
it isn't. I mean,
it's
yeah,
not realistic.
it's not realistic. Yeah, there are those who may fit the mold, but that doesn't mean that, that's going to last forever for them either because they're going to get
Exactly.
older. And it doesn't make less of a person or less of a fitness instructor or less of anything. Like, it's hard because we're in such a comparison culture and we constantly compare ourselves to others. And
Yes,
I'm really trying to be on a mission to not allow myself to play into that, to not allow myself to go down that mindset or that thinking pattern. And
right.
it's super duper hard, but I keep coming back at myself and saying, no, you are strong, you are healthy, you are doing the best you can, and it's awesome. And
Yes. Oh,
that's the mindset that I have to try and stay in. But again, not easy. Like, I'm
no,
not
it's
going to
definitely
say
not easy.
it's not easy. But I
I told you
love,
they weren't easy questions this month.
no, no, they were not. But I love the fact that we're doing this because it's so helpful. And when you're writing it out and when you're writing it
Mhm.
down, it just really, there's something about the action of like writing it out, especially in a journal,
It's
really,
actually very therapeutic.
it is so therapeutic, but it like solidifies into your
Mhm.
mindset, solidifies into your head of like, yes,
Right.
this is what it should be. This is what I want to be. This is the mindset I need to have.
Working toward. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. Yes, it's absolutely so true. See, this is so funny because mine went a little bit more emotional on this on this question.
See, I love how we went in different directions on each one. This is awesome.
It's very funny. So I have a deep rooted, I don't know, criticism that I feel like has been with me forever. And that is that I am not enough.
Mm,
And so I have been working on it for years. So this was a good journal prompt for me to say, okay, what can I replace that with? Like
ah,
what is something new to say? So when that trigger comes up or that criticism comes up that I'm not enough, what can I say that because I am enough just has never stuck? Um,
yeah,
and so I kind of went with I am worthy. And so what I do matters and how I feel matters. And I am worthy of love, of a place at the table, things like that. And just really trying to, like you said, quiet that inner critic that is constantly telling me I'm not enough and comparing because it goes back to it's the same thing of like, am I doing enough? Do I need to do more? I need to be better. I need to be on social media more. I need to
mhm.
get myself out there more. I need to do this. I need to be a better mom. I need to be a better wife. It just like exasperates as you go into it because you feel like you're just never enough in any area of your life. And that's kind of how I've always felt.
You're constantly comparing yourself to others.
Right.
Yeah,
And then really realizing that we don't know everyone's whole story. And
no.
so when we look at someone that we think has it all together, it's not necessarily the truth. And it's not, and I think just trying to be a little as compassionate as I would be to somebody else, I'm trying to be that compassionate to myself. And that's kind of how I'm flipping it. Um, with that journal prompt, that's how I was kind of flipping it in my head was what would I say to someone else who is not feeling like they are enough or they don't do enough?
Yeah,
Um, and
yeah.
just flipping it around and kind of hushing that critic and going, no, I am. And I don't have to do everything. It's okay if I don't do everything. So
That truly is the essence of moving with self-love, right? It is
yes,
turning the love that you give to others upon yourself and giving it back to
right.
yourself. because really, like, yeah, we have lots of love to give, but how often do we turn that towards ourselves
Exactly.
and
And I
filling
think,
cups, and then we have more to give?
well, and I do think part of self-love, I've been thinking about this too. I think part of self-love is loving ourselves enough to heal those parts of us, especially kind of like those childhood wounds or whatever is left unhealed in us. It's
Yeah.
loving ourselves enough to take the time to heal those wounds, whether it be through talk therapy or EMDR or just talking with a friend or journaling or whatever it is that is your way of healing. I think that that's part of self-love is healing yourself.
Oh, completely. Completely. Yeah, allowing those wounds to be healed, which is not
And I think
necessarily easy.
yeah, that's so true. But I think these journal prompts really helped.
Oh,
Where can you
completely.
meet yourself? You know, where are you at? Where are you truly at? And how can you meet yourself there and love yourself? And then taking that criticism and finding a mantra for it, that's part of healing too. And I think that I thoroughly enjoyed thinking about and writing about and talking about self-love because we talk about it like, oh, self-love, go get a pedicure, go get a massage. But really, like, there's so much more. Right. It's true, but there's so much more and so much deeper than just that to self-love. And so I loved exploring it this
Definitely.
month.
Definitely. No, me too. And I like I said before, it's been such a tool for me to use in this journey, because I feel like this is definitely a journey. And all of us are each on our own little journeys that we are taking in life. But I feel like tools like this are so essential to helping you sort of open up a little bit more, or to look inside yourself more, or to be able to step outside your own box and kind
Mhm.
of, look in, or to look
Get a
out.
different perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different
Get a different
perspectives.
perspective.
Different
Yeah,
perspectives for
absolutely.
sure. For
Well,
sure.
this was so much fun. I love talking about what we've journaled about, and we would love to hear from you guys and any response of tell us what hit you this month. What was great about those journal prompts for you? And in March, we're so excited. Our kind of like theme for March is nurturing your nest. So we're
Mhm.
going to talk about some fun stuff there. So if you don't already follow us on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, go there. Also on YouTube, hit the subscribe button below. And you can, if you would like to get on our mailing list, go to our website, tanktopsandsweaters.com. Join our mailing list. You'll be getting fun newsletter every month, and we'll be emailing the journal prompts with some guided meditation, a quote, and some other interesting, great information. So hopefully follow us and subscribe, and we will see you guys next month. Have a great day.